Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and Borsog trading. If you're new, welcome. And welcome back, KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 0.22% to 23,368. Ethereum is up 1.75% to 1870. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the Masterclass, the tax software I use, and you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. The CTKS Creed primes our minds for profitability in the crypto market because of its intense volatility. It's really good to have positive affirmations. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Major US indices were flat overnight, and the percentage probability of a 50 basis point increase actually decreased from 64.5% yesterday to 60.5% today, which means the probability of a higher rate hike of 75 basis points increased from 35.5% to 39.5%. Now, why is this an issue? Why does it really matter what the Fed raises interest rates? As part of your active learning, please let me know. But the concept is that when the Fed raises interest rates, it puts cost pressure on the economic system. Why does it put cost pressure on the economic system? Please let me know in the comments. This is all part of your active learning. Of course, I could tell you all of the answers, but it doesn't help you to understand. You'll always have gaps in your knowledge. That's why, as a community, we practice active learning and answering questions that are really important to answer. And what we saw with the CBOE VIX, it came down 1.71%. Yesterday, it was up 1.07. The DXY, the US dollar currency index, was up 0.78%. Yesterday, it was also up, just by a minor amount, 0.18%. The BLX, which is the proxy for Bitcoin, was down 2.19%. It was down 1.01% yesterday. And you can see the S&P 500 was mainly flat. The Dow was mainly flat as well. The Nasdaq was flat after coming off 1.25% in the previous session. The Russell 2000 was just up marginally, and it was down yesterday by quite a lot. Oil came up, gold came up, silver went down, and the 10-year yield was flat. There was a bit of good economic news. The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index was much better than expected, 6.2 versus a negative 4.9, which was the expectation. However, unemployment claims are still going up, but not as much as they expected, 250,000 versus 265,000. Unemployment claims occur when people lose their jobs. Existing home sales were 4.81 million versus 4.87 million, which was expected, so it's just a little bit softer. We're in crypto, so why do we care about what the stock markets and the dollar and yields and bonds are doing? Because of Rule 225, Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. So it is important to get a context on what the markets are doing. We can see that the VIX came down. The Nasdaq 100, these are the futures. They're coming back to test support and resuming off, but it's not a very strong bounce at the moment. We'll look into why that might be the case. And we can see bond prices continuing to come down and bond yields continuing to come up. Gold is actually coming off that 1815 level back to support, and there's a lot of support around that 1766 level, so just something to be aware of. The safe haven appeal of the US dollar currency index, the DXY, has actually broken through that resistance of 106.962. It's on its way up to the next resistance level at around 109.851. So just something to bear in mind. And also, we look at oil. Oil is starting to come up. And when we look at risk tolerance through the junk bonds, Junk bonds are starting to roll over. You'll get my live chart, Masterclass students, in TM6. One thing that we've seen is the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Dow, all the major global indices except for China have been rallying. Now, how far overextended can these rallies get? Well, they can get pretty far overextended actually, but generally sharp angles do something. And let me know in the comments what that is. When you see a sharp angle, what does it do? Sharp angles, what actually happens? We know the price is always moving in waves. It's going up and then down, up and then down, up and down. So just bear this in mind. But how far away are the major US indices from their resistance levels or support levels? And Masterclass students, you get this live chart in LV19. Just bear in mind that about 60% of global flows into the stock market actually go into the US market. This is why we look at the US market. We're looking at the futures here, and we can see the Nasdaq 100 is about 1.4% away from its support line. The S&P 500 is still under resistance, about 1.42% away from that. The Dow Jones is 1.81% above its support line, and the Russell 2000 is around 5% above support. Active learning is really important. When you look at a steep angle like this, was it maintainable? A steep angle like this, is it maintainable? What about past occurrences when we've seen steep angles like that? Are they maintainable? Please let me know in the comments. Do you think this current rally up in all the major indices, and of course that's been dragging Bitcoin up as well, do you think it's maintainable, or do you think we're coming into a period where prices may just chill out a bit? Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts in Bitcoin. And when we look at the longs, they're represented by this red line. What does this actually mean to us? What happens when the shorts spike up? What is the general behavior when shorts spike up? And notice also that the longs have been coming out of the market. Let's zoom out a little bit and try to answer that question. You can see Bitcoin's price here in the background. You can see it coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Then when we look at the shorts, when they spike up, what's typically accompanied before a spike? Downward price momentum. Downward price momentum are shorts. Shorts are getting into the market. They're getting more and more confident. And downward price momentum. What actually happens with these longs? And we can notice some really interesting things. And I'll bear out this more, flesh out this more in tomorrow's episode. But I'd just like you to do some active learning. You can see, for example, the shorts are spiking up after a sustained period of downward price pressure. And what's happening here? The longs are bottoming out and starting to come up. What happened to price then? It should be fairly self-explanatory, but I want you to actually learn this. It's important not to just rely on people, but to rely on your own eyes. And what do we see here? Price was coming down. The short spiked. We had a bit of a turnaround here in the longs. The longs started to get more confident. What happened to price? Again, it should be fairly clearly self-evident. Price is coming down. Shorts are coming in. Longs are going out. What do you think will happen next? Again, it should be relatively self-evident. Borsog is buy on red, sell on green. That's rule 621. When we buy on red, we get on the right side of the percentage, and that's another rule. But we always think about this three-dimensional strategy. What happens if price goes against us, goes nowhere, or goes for us? Remember, you control your trade or investment, but the market controls the return. I'd like to introduce a new concept to you called Borsog synchronization. How are you feeling about the market in the next 24 hours? For example, if you felt the market was going down, you would just put a D. You've got three choices. The market is going down, going flat, or going up. This is just a representative example, but you can put whatever percentages and whatever you think is here. What do you think is the percentage chance of price moving against you? For example, it's going down and you feel that going down is against you because you're going long, and you think there's a 90% chance of price moving against you in the next 24 hours. You think there's a 5% probability that prices will go nowhere, they'll just go flat, and a 5% probability that price will go for you. You can see against, nowhere, and flat. This little code, this is a Borsog synchronization code, and you can see the 90 is there. So down, against 90%, nowhere 5%, and for 5%. Let me know your feelings, your Borsog synchronization level in the comments. This is really, really important for your active learning. You don't just want to sit back and passively consume information. You want to get really, really actively involved. I was a first and second year statistics lecturer for many, many years, and I found the students that actively learned were the ones that were top of the class. I want you to be top of the class because your money depends on it. And the reason this is called Borsog synchronization, that little code that you put down in the comments will get better and better over time, but not if you don't do it. You're really trying to synchronize in with the market, and as a community we either win or learn, and we never blame. So we don't care what the Borsog synchronization level is, you do it for yourself. Looking at liquidations can really help us understand the state and health of the market. We can see 57 million in liquidations across 30,219 positions is really, really low. People are not participating right now. And when we look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, we see 57% long. What about the past 12 hours? About 57% long. What about the past 4 hours? Say 52% long. What about the past hour? 54% long. So what does this actually mean? We've got very, very low liquidation volumes. Generally, you would see volumes this low on the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday. And you can see there's been a lot of negative pressure. The longs have been getting liquidated of late. There's a lot of indecision in the markets at the moment, and I believe that's because the S&P 500 is reaching its resistance level. Borsog ANF is all about price going against you, going nowhere, or going for you. And of course, we do Borsog trading with coffee money, and that coffee money can help you to synchronize in with the market. Don't go in heavy if you're not in synchronization. You want to be synchronized in with the market's flow, and when price turns your way, you can hit it harder, but don't hit it hard if you're not in synchronization. That's just a way that you can lose a lot of money. And we've noticed recently that we've cut ourselves under this particular support line. There was also a secondary support line. This is on Bitcoin. And what we can see is prices have been rejecting these now resistance lines. So therefore, the crypto market is under resistance. And you will see this pattern play out on pretty much all your beloved alts, except for about 1% of them. And those 1% get really, really interesting when Bitcoin's price comes down. Bitcoin is currently trading at 23,390, and we can see it's literally not really moved since yesterday. You can see if we go down to the 2 hour, price has been basically hovering around the level it was yesterday. So price has gone nowhere. It's the N factor out of Borsog ANF. You can see there's a lot of negative price momentum inside Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin is under this resistance level and also a tighter resistance level here. And we've got a bit of negative air in there. So at the moment, the market is quite uncertain. If we look at the NASDAQ futures, what are they doing? They're actually coming up. This could be very, very positive for Bitcoin. We may see a bit of a turnaround in price. Always have your ANF strategies around you at all times. Think from 3 dimensions. For example, if everybody says overwhelmingly the market is going to come down, and you say, yeah, I'm 90% sure, or maybe 95% sure that it will come down. That should be an indicator of how much of your portfolio is in the market at the moment. Of course, if you're going long. As crypto technical analysts, we mark up our charts with the CTKS method. We go and look at outside trends, just exactly what we've been doing. And then we go back and look inside the crypto market, understanding that we need to find the market's focus, Rule 32. These are all components inside the masterclass. And Rule 28, opportunities reset daily. And enhancing our pattern recognition, Rule 109, is incredibly important. And what we need to do is to have a positive excellence and real wealth mindset to master emotional control before we buy or sell, or you'll just get caught on the roller coaster of retail emotions. You want to be smart money, not retail money. That's why, as a community, we subscribe to Positive Excellence. Positive Excellence is all about getting the right character foundations together, because your character will support your wealth or your lack of it. A lot of people think that they have to change something external to themselves to be successful. Actually, you only need to change your internal perspective to support whatever success you want in life. We have an incredible global KS family, and we're very, very committed to active learning. JK Secret said, "Today it felt like you were speaking directly to me. It was exactly what I needed to hear on so many levels." That's beautiful, JK Secret. I'm learning that I need to overcome my own internal resistance to get into sync with myself first in order to get into sync with the market. Powerful stuff. Fantastic, my friend. And to Tom, thank you for your very nice comment, Tom. These daily videos, they're helping immensely since finishing the masterclass. This is a supplement to the masterclass each and every day. Good on you, Tom. And I would suggest that if you're in the masterclass, keep your eyes on these daily videos. I'd like to thank everybody for their fantastic comments. Crypto Turtle said, "I believe your Positive Excellence Real Wealth table has everything I need to be a better me." That's beautiful. Every day I'm practicing the CTKS creed, and I feel better that the success energy is coming to me. Doing the right thing to myself, to family, friends, and everyone else, and soon the positive energy will find its way back like a boomerang. Doing the right thing to myself, to family, friends, and everyone else. Soon the positive energy will find its way back like a boomerang. That's beautiful, Crypto Turtle. And Kacharia 1986 had a bit of unfortunate news. I'm so sorry for you, my friend. A few days ago, unfortunately, a very close and loved person passed away. I will honor him by having success, by leading a life full of integrity and helping others who struggle until the very last day of my life. The universe wants us to succeed. I'm so sorry for your loss. And if you or a loved one is going through a life pullback, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. There's always hope, and the sun will come out again. And thank you to Vicente. I see the red days as necessary as the green days. Well done, my friend. They are absolutely correct. They are as important, if not more important sometimes. And art, living a life of positive excellence, has a very nice benefit. When you live this way intentionally, other people of integrity, kindness, generosity, and all those good things are attracted to you. And all of a sudden, you're surrounded by people of positive excellence. That's just beautiful art. And thank you to J-Link. Positive excellence has improved my mental health. And LGRC1, pleasure to spend this time with you and the CTKS community. Very beautiful, my friend. And to Rundle Ridge, positive excellence has taught me to be patient, happy, and positive. Everyone in my family is benefiting from all the learning as well. I'm so grateful for all the knowledge you're passing on, Ken. Oh, thanks, my friend. It's beautiful. The community here is exceptional as well. Every day I learn, and I know the universe is wanting me to succeed. This is a powerful concept for me. That's beautiful. And thank you, everybody, for your immensely fantastic comments. It's just really, really wonderful to share this as a beloved global family. There are so many incredible comments. Please read the comments of the last video. They're just brilliant. And all the comments are brilliant on all of the videos. You'll find that our community is a really in sync community, and it's always welcoming. John said, positive excellence. Growing up, he knew about positive excellence, but it was never applied to its fullest extent, and it appeared to be an impossible ideal to follow. That's actually really brilliant. A lot of people think that these particular boxes are unrealistic. Many people feel it's them against the world. The world wants to crush them, wants to push them down into the gutter. That's absolutely incorrect. The world does not want to do that. It wants to lift you up. It wants to see you succeed. When people think it's them against the world, that they have to go into survival mode all the time, kindness, integrity, decency, gratitude, happiness, these are things of wishing. But when you know, absolutely know that the world wants you to succeed. You can be grateful. You can be happy whilst you're achieving your goals. You can seek inner and outer peace. And that takes a lot of courage to do. And you can learn. And there are no mistakes in this world. There's only winning or learning. Thank you, John. You brought out an incredibly important thing to discuss. Now I know I can practice all these traits, improving day by day, learning, acknowledging mistakes, knowing that life pullbacks are an opportunity to earn life's promotion. That's just magnificent, John. And thank you also, Meditative. Positive excellence is a pathway to achieve my dreams. By accepting responsibility, letting go of fear, blame, and anger, then you can truly focus on your goals. It's just fantastic. Thank you, Meditative, and good to hear from you, my friend. And Nenad, positive mindset. Positive excellence mindset. Help me to forgive people who are closest to me, to understand them and accept them. And forgiveness is something you always do for yourself. It's not about other people. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They say, oh, if I forgive that person that was so bad to me, somehow I'm giving them a get out of jail card free card like in Monopoly. No, you're giving yourself your own get out of jail card free, because you release all of that negativity towards them and you actually get unstuck. And Nenad said, I see that my family members show more physical signs of affection because they understand how I feel about them. It's a beautiful feeling. You're a legend, Nenad. There are so many incredible comments. I wish I could read them all out, but just know I just appreciate you all so very, very much. As promised yesterday, I was going to analyze one chart, and MATIC came up the winner. I think I'll do Solana tomorrow for you, because there were a lot of people who were really liking Solana, so I'll do that tomorrow. Now, when we look at a chart like this in MATIC, what do we see? The first thing that I see when I look at this specific chart is it's under resistance. What I actually do, and through the CTKS method, you'll do similar things as well. You want to look at how price is actually obeying past market structure. What I also see when I look at this potential price support level through here is there was support at around the 620 mark. Now, what does this mean? It means that we have a weakening trend. The trend is starting to curl over. And generally, what happens here, if we lose too many support lines, we'll come down to the next support line. But we can't just look at MATIC just on the current price action. And that's the mistake most people do. Actually, you need to zoom out. You need to look at all of this price history to understand the current price action. And a lot of people don't do this, and they make up a lot of different stories to say, oh, price is doing this, but they've not looked at what happened previously. This is the power of the CTKS method. We go all the way back. Now, J-Link noted something, and J-Link said, why are you using the US dollar here? Why aren't you using BUSD? Because this particular index calculated through TradingView has the maximum amount of data points. When you think about it statistically, you want the best sample size you can get, and nothing beats a population. That is a really good sample size. That's a sample size that gets all of the data. So we know we can't just analyze this, we must analyze this as well. And every specific crypto has its own distinct personality. MATIC has its own personality too. After drawing the entire CTKS method out on MATIC, I came up with these specific lines. What they do is they give you some comprehension of where the support levels are and the resistance levels are. And it's all about confluence, and you'll learn a lot about this. Well, you'll learn about it inside the masterclass. Now, what are we actually seeing here? Price, as we know, didn't change much. So I'll just use the current price, which was when I drew this up. It's just come down a little bit. But the concept is, it's still valid. We're about 10% away odd from the next support level at 793. And then we have another support level down around 56.3 or 563. This is a major support level. These are all major support, not minor support, major support. And this one, pinging out at 475, is really major. If we were to get any form of substantial sell-off, we would expect MATIC to get caught at 475. And what do we notice about MATIC, and what do we notice about price in MATIC? MATIC can go up and down dramatically, or sometimes traumatically, and this is what all cryptos do. It's the most volatile market on the planet, so we have to be aware the price can spike down and come back up, and we're actually looking for advantages like that with Borsog. But because we have a market under negative pressure, you want to look specifically for when you have a confirmed crossing of resistance. Just keep these levels in mind up to that point. Now, we also know that we can't just have a negative bias, and we know also that we can't just look at MATIC's chart. We need to look at Bitcoin's chart, and if we're looking at Bitcoin's chart, we need to look at the market charts, and we need to understand how all of the components in the market are working together. So even if we're getting across under here, a losing of support, we can't just automatically assume it's going to fall. We must make our ANF strategy. Do your Borsog synchronization. Put the Borsog synchronization even on the chart at specific days to note how you're feeling. You can literally go across to the annotation tools here and just get a note and pop that note in, for example there, and say my ANF Borsog synchronization. I think the market is going up, down, or nowhere, neutral, flat. What do you think it's doing? What percentage of the against do you expect? Of the neutral or nowhere do you expect? And the for do you expect? And you can actually just put it in there. It's a fantastic way to do things. So you'll be able to track how you feel on the chart and how that bears out with reality. That's a very, very good tip. And if we think on the positive side of things, so we've seen the price has just come down a little bit. So I'm just using the previous price instead of just changing all these levels. But we can see we're about, well, now it's a little bit more. Oh, I'll need to change the levels. Okay, there we go. I like to be precise as possible. We can therefore see at current price we're about 8.5% away from a resistance level. If you were feeling the prices were going to go up, you could place an order and place your sell at this 957 mark if you wished. I don't give any specific advice on any particular crypto. This is just a methodology you can use on any crypto. If you were feeling that it was potential that we could get a price breakout, you could put another sell level up on this 26% level at 1 11.7, and that would give you some kind of concept. Why don't we just round the numbers? Why don't we make it 110? Retail does that. We're smart money. We don't do those things. We don't use rounded numbers. We use the exact precision. And what about if you expected things to blow up completely? You could put another sell level up here, or you could use it as a potential target. This is just a way that you can look at how the CTKS method can be applied in real life. It's a very, very valuable thing. A lot of people, when they get into investing and trading, they don't realize that negative price momentum is very, very valuable. It's literally valuable. So let's have a look at what is happening here. Say, for example, we thought the price could come down. Now it's starting to come down to this level, 793, and then we thought it could likely spike up to this 957 level. If you just bought at that price that we just changed it to, and you were expecting 8.51%, what about if you layered down and bought at this 793 level? Would you still make 8.5%? No, you'd make over 20%. Why is that? Because you're getting on the right side of the percentage. You can look and see, compare the profit of 20% to the profit of 8.5%. Well, 20.5% is better. And this is what negative price momentum gives you. If it came down and just spiked up and resumed down, you could get a really good return. And this is why we have Rule 621, Borsog. It's a fantastic way to actually use the volatility as your best friend. Let's have a quick look at the top 8. And what we're really interested in is Bitcoin's gravity and the power of the specific alt against Bitcoin. We can see Ethereum is got stronger, well, it's more, it is stronger compared to Bitcoin. And look at poor old ADA. Oh no, Charles, what's happening here? It's coming down, and coming down hard because Bitcoin is coming down. A lot of people think their beloved alts have nothing to do with Bitcoin. They say, I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't want to know what's happening with Bitcoin. This is a 1 second chart. You can see how price is coming down with Bitcoin. What is it doing on a 1 second chart with these specific alts? Please let me know. So what you can see is it really matters what Bitcoin is doing. And a lot of people in crypto don't even actually know that. But that's the thing that we talk about inside the masterclass. What about Binance Coin coming down, directionally aligning with Bitcoin? What about ADA? It's showing weakness against Bitcoin. Poor old ADA. XRP is coming down with Bitcoin's gravity. We can see Solana coming down more. It's weaker. It's underneath this blue line. And what do we see with Doge? It's coming down as well. What about DOT? Coming down also. What about SHIB? Also coming down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. It's really interesting to see Doge and SHIB. You can see Doge was coming up here as Bitcoin was coming down. In truth, it was just over-exaggerating the upward movement and under-exaggerating the negative movement in Bitcoin. If I just zoom in there on Doge, you can see it happening. This is why you need to borsog with knowledge. Borsogging is a knowledge-dependent activity, and you'll need all the skills, the CTKS method, to mark up your chart. And you saw on MATIC how important that is to look at previous price action, not just current. And don't make a story about what price is doing. Let the lines reveal themselves to you. To Borsog, you'll need to understand outside trends, timing, positive excellence, and the trigger section. What we can basically see, the shorts are getting more and more confident. The longs are getting less and less confident. And this is probably because we've seen an increase in the probability of a 75 basis point increase in the federal funds rate, as well as the fact that so many different components of the main markets are pretty much flat, if not a little bit down. We can see that price is roughly around the 23,200 mark, please let me know, where do you think it will end up in the next 24 hours? Do you think it will come up to resistance at 23,642 or maybe even higher, 24,011? Or do you think it will come down to 22,782 or potentially lower to 21,977? This is all part of your active learning. The more active learning you do, the better you will actually be at investing and trading, and the more money that you will make. And of course, when done from a positive excellence life trend perspective, the happier you will be as well. And please let me know in the comments if there are any other cryptos that you would actually like me to mark up and give you the kind of end result on what you need to look at. For those who have done the masterclass, it's quite a bit of work to do that, but I really want to help you out wherever I can. So please let me know what particular cryptos you would like me to mark up. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for assisting masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, links to the CTKS partial scholarship, and I'll be deciding on that within the next 2 weeks, so please get your application in. And if you want to get started with the masterclass straight away and get an 80% discount, please reach out to the ambassadors through the links in the description of this video. And you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.